dreams. New York, big city of dreams.
What's good, KOT Nation? It's your boy, the Latin assassin, Lee Escobedo in the house, and I want to start the show off with a happy birthday to our fearless leader, Jay Ellis, founder of KOT, enjoying himself on some well-deserved time off. So we're holding down the fort. Ryan hosted last week. I'm hosting this week. We got my main girls, Be the Motivator here. I'll make my introductions here in a minute. But first, also celebrating a massive win tonight. Could have been bigger, but I'm glad we walked away with the W nonetheless, stayed undefeated at home. 133-120, New York Knicks defeat the visiting Memphis Grizzlies. Your high scores for the game, Captain Clutch, Jalen Brunson, chipping in 32 points, 10 assists, 5 rebounds, 6 turnovers, but we're talking about that in a minute. Followed up by OG Anunoby chipping in 16 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. Karl-Anthony Towns gave us 21 points, 13 rebounds, 4 of them offensive, 4 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks. Your defensive player of the game, Mikal Bridges, Be the Motivator's main man, chips in 22 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals. Damn, my boy came to play today. And then my main man, Landry Shamet, filling in as a starting 2-guard, chipped in 10 points of his own, shooting 50% from beyond the arc. And Jordan Clarkson rounding out with 13 points off the bench, who was also on fire. And then, of course, you know the crew. You got your dynamic trio tonight. Myself, Lee Escobedo, my main man, Ryan G., and my main sis, Be the Motivator. Ryan, how you feeling, brother?
I'm feeling good, man. Feeling good. Glad to see another Knicks win, although some things did concern me about the game today. But overall, I'm just happy with the win.
Be the Motivator. How you feeling, sis? Great to have you.
Undefeated. I'm feeling like I'm undefeated, like I'm MSG right now. I feel great.
Let's go.
I did want to add on to congratulations too, because Jordan Clarkson also made history today. He became the 10th leading scorer off the bench for the NBA records, NBA history, excuse me. So shout out to Jordan Clarkson as well.
That's a great stat. Can't forget that. And also, what a dynamic pickup off the waiver wire. I can't believe Danny Ainge couldn't even get a second for the guy. We got him off of the scrap heat, signed him to a veteran minimum, and he's looking like he might be a Sixth Man of the Year candidate, vying with Josh Hart to compete for that title. My boy's been balling as of late, especially at home. Clarkson seems to really enjoy playing in front of the MSG crowd. But let's talk about this game. Unbelievable offense to start the first half. I believe we scored over 73 points again in that first half. Also thought we had a really solid, rounded out third quarter as well. That's where Memphis did take the lead, but we weren't the third quarter of doom in the past. They won 39-37, but I thought we maintained at least our offensive flow. Defensively is where we really started, I think, missing some assignments and allowing Santi Aldama to get his points in the paint. Ryan, were you concerned at any point about the inconsistent output offensively? And what were your thoughts overall on the game on the defensive side of the ball?
Yeah, to me, I feel like the Knicks played three complete quarters of ball. From the first quarter to the third quarter, everything was running pretty smooth. The offense, the process of the offense, the defense, it was pretty good. There wasn't really a lot to really criticize for those first 3 quarters, but I felt like in the fourth quarter, that's when things started going straight up. And I feel like if the Grizzlies weren't playing so sloppy and the Knicks were playing against a better team, I think a better team would have cut that lead to like 4-2 points to really give the Knicks pressure to close out this game and get the win. But I think the Knicks were bailed out because the Grizzlies played sloppy all day. The Grizzlies look like a team that's been struggling to get a win, and I think that's what saved the Knicks today. Few of my concerns is the 3-ball. I feel like in the fourth quarter, the Knicks were too attached to the 3. I feel like they were throwing up more threes than they should have. And I mean, the game overall, they shot 55 threes. I feel like that's too much threes for a game. I feel like there were definitely opportunities where they could have gone to the basket and get an easy bucket, and they just brought the ball back out and just shot another 3. Not all of those threes that they shot in the fourth quarter were actually good threes, or I felt like threes that came within the flow of the offense. So that's number one. And I don't want the Knicks to become a team that live and die by the three, but I felt like in that fourth quarter they were living or dying by the three. Another concern was guarding the three, because I feel like they gave up way too many open threes to the Grizzlies, and luckily for the Knicks, the Grizzlies shot like what? The Grizzlies shot 36.8% from three, and I feel like against a better team that shoots the three, that's going to be a concern going forward. So the Knicks have to definitely sharpen their perimeter defense and close out on their man at the 3-point line, because, yeah, that's also another concern. And I feel like if the Grizzlies were knocking in their shots, it would have been a much closer game. So those are my main two concerns in the fourth quarter that popped up. And I'm just hoping that, Mike Brown can get these guys in the film room, show them where they need to, improve and where they need to tighten up. And I hope to see a better performance against the Magic tomorrow night, because the Magic are a better team, although they're struggling themselves.
Great point about the 3-point line. I also think that John Morant would have given like 2% of care. This game could have been a lot closer. I called the FBI during halftime and let them know that I think my main man, John Morant, is throwing the game. And they should definitely do their research to see if he has any mafia ties there in Memphis. I know there is a mafia contingency there. Some of those old-timers. So let's just say there might be some betting parlays being going on. John Morant looked like absolute ass. One of the most embarrassing performances I've seen from a star player. That 2019 draft, that's one of the worst top three picks in recent memory between Zion, Ja, and RJ. No slight to RJ, but man, just very underdeveloped, underperforming. And for Ja to throw away that opportunity he has in Memphis as a star guard, the face of the franchise, and come out there and do that kind of effort in the first half, throw away passes, terrible perimeter defense. We really got hot based on a lot of hunting him and him not rotating assignment and leaving our guys, Landry Shamet and Jalen Brunson, wide open for three. So it was really embarrassing. I put that loss on his head more than anybody else. Be the motivator. What'd you feel like? Shout out to our AAU coach, former AAU player, be the motivator. Supreme ball knower as well across not just the Knicks, but all the NBA. Her and I are constantly talking about the rest of the league on Twitter.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on tonight's game, both the offensive and defensive side of the ball, before we get into specific players?
I think, speaking real quick on your John Morant comment, I think John Morant is just done. I know it's a joke, but I think he's just done with Memphis overall. Outside of him, I don't see that they have anything. They don't have a consistent scorer. Their big man fluctuates some games. He's sometimes out, he's in, barely can rebound. We were just making that joke prior to getting on here. And I don't think his defense has gone up since he's been a defensive factor. I think he remains at the consistent level where it actually has dropped recently. So I think that, it looks like he's throwing it off, but I also think I always tell people confidence plays a big part on how someone plays. And I don't think anybody's in his ear right now letting him know that outside of Memphis is letting him know, let's get this ball rolling again. You got this. You're still good. I think he's mentally prepared to be moved at any moment, and that's how he's playing. I'm going to get moved anyway, so why does it matter? However, on our end, I'm glad we took advantage of it for moments, but Ryan hit it on the money. I thought we were over quarters of doom. I wouldn't even say third quarters, because sometimes we come out flat. There's even right before the half we've been flat. But it's been a third quarter thing, because yes, there's many more times than others that we come out after the half flat. But we didn't play 4 quarters of basketball today, not at all. Even us playing a good third quarter, we got outscored. And within the fourth quarter, they made a whole entire comeback where I went to the bathroom, I came back, and I'm like, why are we down by 10? We were just up by like 18. So that was the main concern for me. If we're good, we got to beat the teams that we're going to beat, which I'm glad we beat them today. But we have to play 4 quarters of basketball. We should never question effort with this team. I thought we were kind of over that. So to see a little bit of that today kind of frustrated me, because I'm like, just wrap this game up. Let's get rest so we could prepare for our back-to-back tomorrow. I would have liked to see the starters get out a little bit earlier. But they had to stay in due to the fact that we did not play 4 quarters. As I'm looking here too, yeah, we had Mikal at 38 minutes. OG at 35, Jalen Brunson at 36. That's just too much on a back-to-back. So that kind of frustrated me that we didn't get the guys in and out today, take care of business, kind of played with our food. The defense, I loved it, especially with the leading factor of Mikal Bridges. Shout out to, Mikal. He played amazing defense. Even Karl Anthony Towns, I saw some deflections that he had. And then Jalen Brunson, the silent assassin. I think you and him got silent assassin this year. We're used to Jalen Brunson being loud in the scoring department, but today I looked down, he had 32. And it was bits and pieces that I saw him going on his runs. Yeah, so I was very shocked to see that the offense is clicking. I like the shots that we're taking. There wasn't a shot today that I was pretty mad about. There wasn't really runs that I was mad about. My just biggest concern was it has to always click. It can't be a time we take off because teams like Memphis could come in and sneak back on you. I wouldn't say so much like a Brooklyn or even a Wizards team that I was concerned if we took the pedal off a little bit, but Memphis does have a little bit of talent that, yes, if Ja showed up a little bit more and Jaren Jackson decided to dominate more in the paint, they could have taken that game away. They have a really nice rookie that I like. In Coward, he also didn't really shoot the ball very well today too. So if his shot was falling today and Ja decided to show at least 2, 3, 4 more percent, we could have gotten in trouble in that game, and that's not a game that I want to worry about. I don't want to worry about teams like Memphis. So that's my only major concern today. Overall, everything else, I like Towns and OG attacking the paint. OG wasn't falling outside today, so he got his points by eventually getting to the line or getting inside. And I just like the bench production. I'm liking Jordan Clarkson. I don't know, we're gonna get into that more, but I'm liking when he comes
We
in
will.
and he's like, "We need buckets. Y'all want buckets? Here y'all go. Here it is." So shout out to Jordan Clarkson. I like Yabasali's. Slowly. Jordan Clarkson, I knew soon as the oven gets on, he's gonna start baking. He's gonna start cooking.
Yeah.
But Yabasali slowly get in there. He had a nice couple rebounds. He had some
Agreed.
good defensive stops. He got to the paint, didn't settle for a shot at one point. So I like that. McBride is going to be McBride. He's going to fluctuate. I think right now he's giving Jordan Clarkson the keys, which is cool. But if we get them both coming off and getting 10 to 12 points, the league's in trouble. And I think people are already noticing that they're in trouble with us. So it's just nice to see it. Another game where we have under our belt and things are slowly coming together.
Bruh.
John Moran deserves a bruh pick early for the absolute atrocious leadership.
I had a broad pick too, and I forgot it. Right,
and also it's allowing us to have someone to hunt in those mismatches too. I think that's why Jalen Brunson, it didn't really feel like he had to take over because a lot of his shots didn't come out of ISO. They came on just like wide open threes, wide open mid-range daggers, open lanes to the basket, especially in that first quarter when Jock Lawndale was out there. He was getting absolutely obliterated off of ball screens. But Jalen Brunson was hunting him and then covering him on the other side, allowing for double teams to force steals and force turnovers. But the first player I want to talk about, actually, B, I thought that was a fire monologue. I want to talk about Mikal Bridges. Let's talk about his defenses. I really felt like that our offense is being generated right now, not just out of like kind of these. I heard concepts of offensive schemes, but really it's the defense that's generating the offense. And Mikal Bridges to me was blowing up so many plays, blowing up lobs, blowing up cuts, blowing up rhythm around the three-point line, really being super aware and leading the defense, not just with his play, but vocally. I would love for it to be. I know that's your favorite player. That's your main man. Let's talk about this game and kind of the season in particular, what you've seen from Mikal Bridges on the defensive side of the ball.
Shout out to my mom's, by the way. I'm just seeing someone who's my major thing with Mikal all season is he looks comfortable. He has I don't know, Mike Brown was mic'd up today, and the compliments after compliments. Every time Mikal would come into the huddle, he was just like, "Great job, good this, good that." He just feeds him, and I know my man's a Virgo. With Virgos, we love that. We love when our what's the word I want to look for? Where our passion is just being shown. Yeah, like our work is just being noticed because we don't mind doing the work. It's never a problem for us. That's where you get the Jalen's and you get the Mikals. We don't mind the work. It's just that sometimes we would like the applause because we know, we're good at what we do. So Mikal knows he's a good defender. I don't think he needs it, but the applause, I think that's where he's getting the energy. He looks comfortable. He looks like this is what we gave the 5 picks for. So yeah, that's what we gave the 5 picks for. A 3-and-D guy. He looks comfortable shooting the ball. I remember last year when he started, everybody was like, what the hell shot is that? His shot was broken.
Right.
There was a lot of times he looked very frustrated. I see that he's pulling guys in to have huddles to talk. He's letting people know, get back on defense, and it all starts with him. And he knows this, and I think he finally found a role. When he entered New York City last year, he didn't have a role. There were sometimes he was the 4th guy, even the 5th, sometimes the 3rd. He was never the 2nd or 1st like he was in Brooklyn. Suns was his kind of lead off where he had to just do what he had to do. He wasn't so much, but him here, he knows that if I don't play defense first, the offense will come. We won't get very far. That's what we bought. That's why we have a whole wing stop. That's what we bought him an OG here for. We kind of felt like, okay, they could be offensive nightmares, but we knew we needed to have defense. So it's nice to see him actually understand my role. Let me play it, because when I play it well. So I'm glad to see him being comfortable. I'm glad to see him understand that it starts with me. It could start with OG sometimes, but they know it's either Mitch,
Yeah.
OG, or Mikal. If it's not one of us leading the way defensively, we might struggle tonight. So I'm glad he just understands his role. He's playing it well, and I think a lot of it just has to do solely with confidence. A shout out to Mike Brown, for just keep feeding this man. Just keep complimenting him, keep making him smile, keep making him happy, because he'll do the rest.
And speaking of role, I think taking him off of being the primary point of attack defender has helped him tremendously to be able to just play the passing lanes and really be a free safety disruptor. Ryan, let's talk about Mikal Bridges' defense. Did you feel like that it was a catalyst this game? I mean, the stat sheet was absolutely stacked, but to me, the eye test was really the proof. I thought he did a really good job disrupting and frustrating John Morant when he was switched on to him. But also, I thought when he was off of Jalen Wells in that fourth quarter, that's what allowed Jalen Wells to really go off on a three-point line. So tell me your thoughts around Mikal Bridges on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, Mikal was definitely key tonight. 4 steals. He was definitely getting his hands on. He was getting his hands on balls, paws, and he was definitely wreaking havoc on the defense side of the ball. And part of the reason why the Knicks played at a faster pace was because they forced the Grizzlies into so many turnovers altogether. Checking the stats, they forced the Grizzlies into 22 turnovers, which they turned into 33 points.
Let's go.
Then on top of that, the Knicks had 16 fast break points, and that is how Mike Brown wants the Knicks to play. Mike Brown wants the Knicks to play quicker, and for them to play quicker, they have to play defense, force turnovers, and get into those fast break situations. So, and Mikal Bridges is key to that. We already know Brunson and Cat are the top 2 players on the team, and those are the 1 or 2 options, but we have guys that can step up to be that 2 option if one of the guys aren't playing that well. And Mikal Bridges is one of those players that the Knicks can depend on, where not only is he going to play the defensive side of the ball, but offensively, he's also going to contribute as well.
My boy Ryan cooking on Mikal Bridges. It's great to have a different guy step up every single night. But I love the fact that Jalen Brunson's 30-plus points seemed quiet. It was surprising that he'd scored 32. It's also, we had an OG Anunoby night where he shot 1 of 10 from a three-point line, and we still won by double digits, and we're up by double digits the entire game. We actually have an offense now that's plug and play, where the bench come in and pick up right where the guy who walked off the court left off. And that is a system offensively I've never seen before. And I'm loving every single game. The matchup doesn't matter anymore because the system is going to provide that wheel offense, right cut, the right pass, the right ball screen. The guys are going to be found, and we're going to have the easy buckets where we're really eliminating that mid-range offense and allowing Karl-Anthony Towns and Brunson to work in that elbow or top of the key area and find cutters. And that worked for about 3 quarters tonight. The finding of the cutters and the backdoor cuts, the down screens, all of that was working to perfection to get guys easy shots until specifically I felt like Jalen Wells really started reading those passes by Karl-Anthony Towns and Mikal Bridges, and it forced a few turnovers. But overall, I thought Towns was great as a playmaking hub. He was solid, dribble handoff, solid screen setter. The down screens that made him a force going downhill. You have to guard him. You can't get off him and try to double or hedge on the perimeter, which leaves Landry Shaman open or Mikal Bridges open. Like, the offensive structure is starting to get into form where you can start having 10 to 15 plays that are being ran that you don't really have a lot of tape of, because they're just kind of running concepts and free-flowing for the majority of a game. But Towns in particular, those 4 assists I thought he had tonight, only 2 turnovers. He got foul prone in the fourth, but the first 3 quarters I thought he was really excellent. I'm looking at the box score for plus minus. He was at a 0. I think that fourth quarter hadn't happened before that. He had to be one of the highest plus minuses in the game. So I want to talk about Towns and the rebounding. 4 offensive boards, 13 total, 3 steals, 2 blocks, and 21 points. It felt like he was really taking the matchup tonight seriously than Jaren Jackson Jr. B was roasting me before his show started about me like one to trade Cat for Jaren Jackson. Let's talk about Cat. I'll start with you, Ryan. What were you most impressed with him on both ends of the floor and the matchup that he had tonight against a lot of Memphis bigs that are all above average? Oh.
Did we lose Ryan for a second?
Ryan, did you fall into the matrix, bro?
Oh, there you go.
No, I had to do something real quick.
Oh, okay. You want me to go B first?
Yeah, because I didn't hear the question. So yeah, you go first. Yeah.
We're talking about Karl-Anthony Towns, but I'll let B go first, and then you can tell your thoughts.
So yes, first of all, yes. Anybody who ever wanted Jaren Jackson, Karl-Anthony Towns, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry that you wanted to do that. And I'm glad that it didn't happen. I like Karl Anthony Towns ever since the Milwaukee matchups. He has been attacking whoever he's playing, whether it's Sarr, whether it's Rudy Gobert, whether tonight it was Jaren Jackson. He's taking advantage. He understands that. Yes, he understands that he can be loud if he wants to. He can do what he can play his game. He doesn't have to shoot so much, and I think a lot of the commentators were saying that his three ball been shooting as much or hitting as many. And he doesn't need to. He can dominate in the paint. He can rebound, and he can get you three. I think it was 3 steals and 2 blocks. He can play defense, guys. He's not that much of a liability this year. And it's against a good matchup. We're not gonna. No disrespect, but that's where I try to explain levels to people in basketball. Karl Anthony Towns is at one of the highest levels, and I think Jaren Jackson is just right under. And I think we disrespect Karl Anthony Towns by putting him on the same level as Jaren Jackson. It doesn't take away from Jaren Jackson though, because he is a good player. So for Karl Anthony Towns to have a game like this against a former defensive player of the year, if I'm not mistaken, it's quite impressive. He had it against Rudy, which was another former defensive. Alex Sarr, who is a young stud defensively. He's not messing around, and I think that he understood that. And I don't know if he has a fake Twitter where he checks and sees what we're talking about, but I think he heard us loud and clear after that Milwaukee game, and he has been dominant since. Another double in the book. Can we talk about that as well? That's the big man that we acquired. I'm not mad at any trades. I don't want anybody in return. I want Karl Anthony Towns. He's on our team, and we're gonna keep rolling. We're only gonna go as far as him and Jalen take us with the casting help around us with Mikal and OG. But as long as Towns is playing this, I don't see how we don't get back to the Eastern Conference Finals. And we'll talk everything after that. But I don't see how we don't get back to the Eastern Conference Finals.
And yeah, I mean, I was critical in the fourth quarter that some of those reads that he was making were becoming anticipated by specifically Jalen Wells and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope getting steals on those passes he was trying to hit cutters with. But before that, I thought he's really made a concerted effort to be a hub and be stationary, not try to catch the ball, get into the short roll, and make really bad passes or bad offensive fouls. He's getting more understanding that he needs to have both feet planted, use his height, and put the ball above everybody's heads, and then find guys off of those passes from that spot at both elbows. And I thought he's done a really good job of that, not just this game, but for the last 4 or 5. Maybe it's even since Milwaukee. It was when he hit a turning point with his awareness and his ability to become a little bit more comfortable, specifically with the starting unit, Bridges and OGs particularly, being a screen setter for them, but also playing a 2-man game with both of them as well. Ryan, Karl Anthony Towns, man, how impressed have you been with him? Do you think that right now he's on track for another All-Star season or All-NBA?
Definitely All-Star season. All-NBA, I got to see how he plays throughout the season and see like the other players in the league and how they stack up. But overall, yeah, Karl Anthony Towns has been impressive, especially on the offensive side of the ball. His versatility he shows in every game. Not only can he take his man off the dribble, it was kind of crazy because it just shows you the evolution of the NBA today. I actually saw McBride set a screen for Karl Anthony Towns, and Karl Anthony Towns drove to the basket and finished out the rim. And I'm like, yo, when do you ever see a small guard set a screen for a big to drive to the basket and finish out the rim? I thought that was crazy, but
2025.
Exactly, but yeah, Karl Anthony Towns he's very versatile, man. He can play on the perimeter, he can play in the post, and he can pass the ball. He can find open guys on cuts and get them the ball going to the basket and all. And yeah, he's just overall great offensive play. And even defensively, I think he's been doing better as of late because I think when Karl Anthony Towns is guarding somebody one-on-one, he's not a bad defender. He's at least decent to good depending on, the night. And also I see that what the Knicks added some wrinkles whenever Karl Anthony Towns is involved in pick and rolls, because I feel like in the beginning of the season when he was really getting caught on pick and rolls, the Knicks kind of left him on the island and just expected him to like guard, and they expected him to communicate with whoever else is involved, to whether it's a switch or whatever the case may be, and he would often read the play wrong, and he would get put in awkward situations where teams were able to take advantage of it. But I think now what the Knicks are doing is that the Knicks are actually helping on those pick and rolls. So it's like Karl Anthony Towns is not on an island by himself anymore. Sometimes, like, for example, not so much in this game, but I'm trying to recall which game it was. It was before the Nets game when the Knicks played really good defense where
against Chicago the second time.
I think it may have been Chicago the second time where when they involved when they involve Cat in pick and roll actions, Like I think like one play, for example, when the big was rolling and Cat was up on the guy with the ball, like Bridges kind of slid down a bit, was guarding the roller, and like the players are helping him. It's so that it allows Karl Anthony Towns to recover back to the big, and then everybody else goes back to their their respective guys that they're guarding. So I think that not only is he performing better defensively because of that, like I think Mike Brown did a good job of like mitigating where Karl Anthony Towns' weaknesses are on defense, so that he can stay on the floor more to be that hub on the offensive side of the ball. So, but overall, I think Cat had a good game tonight. 21, 13, 4 points, rebounds, assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks. Like, you can't be mad at that. Like, that's a pretty good game.
Fire take, Ryan, and that actually led to something I've been thinking about for a while. I think, and again, this is no slight to Tom Thibodeau, but that level of rigidity that people complain about on offense, there's a little bit on the defense too. I think he was expecting a little bit too much of Cat, and at also times expecting too much of his teammates to cover up for him. We talked about that early pre-switch that he had OG Anunoby, and when he would share minutes with him at the 4 and the 5, where OG would have to scramble and get into guarding the roller instead of trying to play the perimeter, and now Cat is kind of just doing nothing, and OG has to guard 2 on the ball. To me, those things led to frustration, and it made players less likely to help Cat when he's involved in those actions on the defensive side. Now it's more free-flowing. If you're there and you're available and you have the know-how and you watch tape, you know that guy in the corner is 27%, or in John Morant's case, like 13%, you can hedge off him and help double and guard the roller. And that's made Cat a more effective defender and less of a liability as well, no matter what kind of actions he's covering. And Mike Brown's been a lot more diverse with the type of actions he's throwing out there defensively. We saw zone to start the game. I mean, fairly soft zone, but he knew 3 guys on the Memphis starting 5 are horrible 3-point percentage shooters. Let's start out with that and see what kind of chaos we can formulate out of it. And they did. They forced turnovers, long rebounds, led to transition points. To me, I'm like, that's something we might not have seen under Tibbs. Maybe we would have. Maybe we didn't, but we're seeing it immediately out of Mike Brown less than 15 games in. So, man, to me, just the ability to be freelancing and freestyling on both ends of the ball is creating a real juggernaut that I don't even think is at full capacity yet on defense or offense. Right? This team has a whole nother level to get to, and it's generating not just by the starting 5, but the bench pieces. And the next player I want to talk about is that bench piece I've been the most impressed with is Landry Shamet. We have a guy now, to me, I think Landry Shamet can be our Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. The dude plays elite defense. He's excellent guard in transition. He's excellent in half court, and he's becoming a very dependable, willing 3-point shooter in motion, defended, or wide open. 50%, 2 of 4 tonight from 3. Overall, love the effort in the first quarter, really setting the tone. Who wants to go first? Complimenting my favorite bench guy, Landry Shamet, and the one I advocated to be a starter last season, damn it. I mean, I had a lot of hate from that from the Twitter OGs, but it was something I was for because he's plug and play.
Landry, it was funny because I did see you post something else too, and I was laughing, but then when I thought about it, I said, this is actually, you said KCP, but it is somebody who's very missed and beloved in the New York Knicks that we replaced him very well, and that's Dante DiVincenzo.
You saw my meme?
Yes, like a lot of people miss Dante, but I think a lot of people forget because, yeah, shout out to Tom Thibodeau. Because of Tom Thibodeau's system, that's why Dante was allowed to play the game that he had, the season, that he had. On Minnesota, he's not able to have the type of same seasons too, so the fact that that's not the role that he's given in there. So Landry Shamet has been given a role in New York City that I've seen other teams either or last year even overplay his role, play him too, or underplay him. He's actually in the perfect position that if, yes, we have to sit bench, we can put him into there and be a starting for us. If we need someone to be off the bench and get some buckets, he can do that. So having a guy who can do a little bit of everything is a and for the price that we continuously get him for is the biggest steal. I know that Jordan Clarkson was a steal. Yabusele was kind of even a steal, and we talk about all these other steals. But Landry Shamet is an absolute steal. We keep getting this man on a vet minimum, and he's not even. I can't even. How old is Landry Shamet? I don't even think he's like 33 or 34. He's still late 20s, early 30s, right?
29, I would
think
guess.
29. Yeah, I think 29. I think so.
We're getting this man on a vet min, and he not only could shoot the ball, but he could defend the ball. We have a two-way player on a vet.
28
on a vet min. just doing the damn thing. That's all I really have to say about Landry Shamet. What a steal. And Knick fans, I know we're a little delusional with our players. If you come here, we're either gonna love you or hate you. And I know we love Landry Shamet. I saw a lot of people advocate for him prior to the year he played last year, and I'm like, Landry Shamet, the guy who keeps getting eliminated. There was a Landry Shamet curse. I don't know if anybody who's listening or watching remember the Landry Shamet curse, but he didn't break it with us, by the way. He broke it with us. When we got him, I was like, God damn it, we're cursed. We're not going to get to the da-da-da-da. And then boom, before you know it, he was a kind of, I wouldn't say a major piece, but he was a very vital piece to why we got to that level that we did last year. And he is going to be that same thing this year. And for the price that we got him, what a steal. That's all I really have to say about Shamet. What a steal. And if there's ever a time he can get paid, please somebody pay him, because I know we can't. But first, let's get to the glory with Landry. I would love for him to come on this ride with us and get what he deserves, because he's been a journeyman, a veteran man, very class act, does his job. And does it very well, and hasn't really got the glam that he should get. And I'm glad he's finally getting in a big city like us, because he is a player that at the end of the day, until he goes, you don't realize how important he was. So shout out to us replacing Dante in a way that we didn't even realize that we did. Shout out to him just over playing his contract. And just shout out to him for just being what we need him to be. If we need him to be a starter, he's going to give us starter minutes. If we need him to come off the bench, he's going to come off the bench and do bench things. So just shout out to Landry Shamet. That's all I really have to say about him. I'm glad that we had to make some eliminations and he came out the one on top.
Brian, it's your turn for the Landry Shamet propaganda machine.
Yeah, man. Landry Shamet has been a good pickup for the Knicks. He's like a utility player, pretty much. The Knicks can slot him into the starting lineup, and he can do what he got to do. They can bring him in, they can bring him off the bench, and he do what he got to do. Solid defender, good 3-point shooter. I think one of the plays in the game, I think he kind of like faked out one of the Grizzlies like defenders, and then went back to the 3-point line and shot the relocation threes. That's what I like about with Shamet. Like, he's really good at that.
He pulled a James Harden.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so, Shamet is one of those glue guys, man. Like, you could just plug him into any system, any lineup, and he just does his job. And that's the kind of player he is, and he's going to be an integral part to the Knicks going forward.
What about Dursun Yabusele? I felt like B was right. I felt like he kind of had his best movement game tonight. The stats wouldn't show that. Let me check what his plus minus is. Not that I put a lot of weight into that stat. Plus 13. That might have been the highest he's had this season so far, if memory serves correct. He gave you 6 boards in 15 minutes off the bench. The points I don't really care about. To me, it's more about effort and defense and rebounding. He was able to hit 1 2-pointer. I think he took 1 or 2 threes. They both looked a little – I felt like they were on range, the right angle, and they weren't complete air balls. I've been expected from him in terms of how out of shape he is. It looks like he's getting a little bit better conditioning. Do y'all agree, or do you think that he's still someone that's kind of in and out of the rotation based on injuries and Mitch's availability?
Well, right now at the moment, it seems like if Mitch is sitting, he's going to get playing time because the Knicks need to fill that 9th man off the bench, and he fills that role. I think it remains to be seen when Mitch is healthy and playing, if he's still going to get that time, because at the moment, what it seems like is if Mitch is healthy, Mike Brown's going to stick to that 9-man rotation, but that 0.5 he talks about is going to be Yabusele, where he might put him in for like 3 minutes or 4 minutes when he needs him and then sits him on the bench for the rest of the game. But he did make a case for himself tonight as to why he should get more minutes, because he played really well tonight. I think this is probably his best game as a Knick so far, in the regular season. So I think that bodes well for him. I don't think he's in tip-top shape as of yet, but he played well tonight, and I think this is the type of game that he would strive in, because with the Knicks playing him, in that 4 to 5 role, the Grizzlies don't really have a legit big where it's like you have to worry about him guarding a guy in the post that's bigger than him, and they're gonna like dominate him in the post and things of that nature, or dominate him on the perimeter, because Zach Edey's not playing, so you don't really have to worry about Zach Edey. Jaren Jackson is a perimeter big. He's not really a big that's going to take you in the paint and use his size to shoot over you. So this is the type of game that I think Yabusele would strive in, and he strived tonight. He did really well. You can't really complain about his game.
Thoughts, B? Yay, nay?
No, that's right on the money with him. I'm not gonna lie to you. Coming into this game, my initial thought I was saying to myself, I said he's been a huge disappointment to me this season because he was the one that I really felt could. I honestly thought at one point he should have been our one of our starters with Cat at the 5 and him at the 4 because of his shooting, and he's okay defensively. He can rebound a little bit, and we haven't really seen any of that. And if you haven't seen the consistent 3 ball, we haven't seen the consistent rebound. We haven't seen anything consistent with him. And it's yes, I think the lack of minutes does play a big role, but one thing I can never question and that I'm not mad at, so I don't care to give him the minutes. I don't care to give him the minutes is the effort. I never watched him on the court and say, oh, he looks like he doesn't want to be here, or he looks frustrated. It just looks like he's trying to figure it out. I think again he had a role in Philadelphia that just he showed up, and he is a pro. He plays overseas a lot in his off time and not in the NBA, so he's going to show up. So he knew that last year was my opportunity to step up, and that he did. Right now, I like Mikal last year. That's why I'm glad we have him on a 2-year, because I could see him eventually figuring it out and him just being Energizer Bunny, whatever it is he needs to do, whether he's going to score a rebound or get some defensive stops. It's just unfortunately we just don't know what he's going to be for us just yet, and I don't think he understands that either. And that's what we're seeing some nights. I don't know what I'm going to do. And today he realized, like you just made a point. I forgot Zach Edey plays for the Memphis Grizzlies. Gave him an opportunity to crash the boards more, because we all know Jaren Jackson Jr. cannot rebound. Almadama is not really a rebound guy, neither is Landale. And then outside of that, you don't really have John Morant, KCPs, and Wells as rebounders, small guards who rebound that much. So I think he realized that's where I could take advantage of today, and we saw that 6 rebounds. There was even sometimes he had a rebound, but it kind of slipped out. So I feel like he even could have had 7 or 8. So I like a person who's going to come off and give us energy. So I'm never mad at his minutes, because there haven't been minutes that he has played that I said to myself, where's the effort? Only thing I do say is lose some weight, but other than that, I don't see him lacking any effort, and I just see him just a player who's trying to figure out what it is that I need to do tonight. And that's kind of hard when you come into a game. Like Jalen Brunson knows when every night I come off, they need my points, they need my facilitating, whatever it is. He knows damn well when I get off this bench, they don't need a stop for me. If I get a stop, cool, but he knows that's not his job on the team. Same thing with Carl. I think he finally realized my job is to dominate as a big man, wherever I need to do, feeling comfortable. OG and Mikal, we're seeing their comfortability. They understand their role. I don't think Yabusele quite understands that, but I'm not mad if he gets the minutes or if he doesn't, for the sole fact that I like his energy.
Well said. I think the only other topic that I feel like was important to discuss for this game particularly is what Ryan brought up in the beginning about the volume of 3-point shots. You mentioned that 55, I think that was a season high, if I'm not mistaken, tonight, hitting 55 threes. I mean, if you don't play devil's advocate, though, we still shot 40% on those 55 threes, making 22 of them against a team that doesn't have a lot of mobility. They do have athletes, but if John Morant's not carrying as a point of attack defender, they don't have a lot of mobility without Edey out there and Jaren Jackson having to play some minutes at the 4 with Jock Landale at the 5. I mean, those are open threes you're going to get, and we shot 40% with OG only being 1 for 10. Right? That to me, I'm like, okay, the team itself was getting good looks, and Mike Brown's really stressed about crashing the corners and always having someone there to stretch out the defense so it stays honest. But to me, I thought the rest of the game was really solid. We still had 16 fast break points, still had the other half of our points, 46 in the paint. We still passed the ball and got 35 assists. To me, I'm not so concerned about the number of threes. We saw very high volume 3-point shooting teams at Golden State win a chip. We saw another one in Boston win a chip. I'm not worried about it unless we're doing it against teams where we have a clear advantage elsewhere. If there's a team that has a really bad or they're really thin up front and there's an opportunity for us to get awesome shots as post-ups and cuts, all right, that's one thing. But tonight, to me, the advantage was on the perimeter. So I might push back a little bit against the volume. Also, this is where the lead is trending. I think the reason, if you compare us to Memphis tonight and you say, well, we shot 55 and they shot 38, they're not a strong 3-point shooting team to begin with. Like they shot 37%, and a lot of their looks, especially in the 4th, were wide open when we were missing assignments. And their offense, I thought, was being ran really well, even without a lot of strings being set. So, I mean, I don't know. That's just me. Happy to hear a counter argument for it, but I feel like if the game is presenting itself to have a lot of 3-point volume and we're hitting them, with the exception of OG Anunoby, let's keep shooting them.
All right, I'm going to clarify what I mean by too many 3-pointers, because so far this season, I think the Knicks' best offensive games that I've seen out of them, they took maybe a bit over 43 pointers, like 41, 42 threes. I feel like those games were the best Knicks offensive games because there was a wide shot selection. It wasn't just, oh, we have the three, let's throw it up. There was ball movement, cuts to the basket, things of that nature, and that helped them to create easy shots to go along with a 3-point shot. Now, what I'm complaining about is probably a little part of the game. Like the first 3 quarters, I had no issue with the shot selection with the Knicks. I think the first 3 quarters, the shot selection was great. But when the game started to get tight, I felt like they fell in love with the 3 a bit too much. And I feel like they could have done other things on the offensive side of the ball to get a basket to try to put this game away. That's what I'm talking about. It's only a few minutes within the fourth quarter, mainly towards the middle part of the fourth quarter, towards the end of the fourth quarter. I feel like they fell in love with the 3 too much. And I feel like also the Grizzlies were onto them as well, because I feel like the Grizzlies were guarding the corners as well, and they were able to get a couple steals as well. And I think they were getting used to the Knicks process and in how they generate their threes. So that's why I was I feel like they should have made their shot selection a bit more unpredictable, as opposed to just jacking up threes. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the whole game. I'm not talking about the game as a whole. I'm talking about a section of the game, within that fourth quarter, where I felt like the threes were a bit too much.
That's a fair point. I think the thing that relieves me of any type of anxiety is that we have had 3 seasons under Tom Thibodeau where we know that things grind to a halt and we want to go ISO. We need a bucket from 4 or 5 guys on the roster, like Jalen Brunson, Karl-Anthony Towns, Bridges, OG. We all have their sweet spots. Josh Hart, who was excellent tonight, not just as a passer, but I thought a real connector for our offense and a big rebounder as well. We have guys who can go out and get a bucket when we need it. So, all right, we shot a lot of threes, but if those threes aren't falling, we do have a backup plan, but not many teams in the NBA have, with 3 guys who are 3-level scorers and can get a shot on anybody.
I'm not against the 3 ball. I'm also not for it either, as you guys know. I just believe teams that shoot a lot of volume threes, you end up unfortunately living by it or dying by it. So I don't like the 3 ball fact, because I'm, as a coach at one point in my life, I always tell my kids, look at the court, take a couple more steps in. What's the easier shot, this one, or if you come back more? And that 3 ball is just a harder shot, which is why you get more points for it. So I think just little things like Ryan was saying, OG there was many times he was substituted out because he was in foul trouble. There had to have been a point where somebody's telling him, bro, you're 1 for 7, 1 for 6, 1 for 5, 1 for 10. Stop shooting 3-pointers for today. You can shoot the threes for today. I think so. That's the only issue that I have there, when the volume is very high and it's not efficient or consistent. That's my only issue, but it's obviously was, because it's still 40% is not terrible. It's actually a good game for a team to shoot that many. But certain players, yes, if OG didn't shoot 8 more times, or 7 more times, or 5 more times, that 55 would have been 40-something, and we would have been okay with 47 threes for the day. But there was someone who unfortunately struggled today at the 3-point line, and I wasn't mad at it, because now looking back, I did realize he was missing a lot, but they weren't terrible, which is why I didn't blow out to me. I'm just shocked to hear that he was 1 for 10. But no, I'm just not a big fan of it. I think I always say work smarter, not harder. Just work smarter. Keep getting inside, letting the 3 ball be open more than having to create a 3. If you pop out and someone's open at the 3, which is Mike Brown's system, it seems that he likes to do a lot of cuts, a lot of screens for that option. So somebody is popped open at the 3. But let that come to you. That's my only thing with the 3 ball. I think we're getting better at it. I don't see us forcing many 3-pointers. I think a lot of them are open. I didn't see anything where a lot of shots were forced today. I just think that there has to be a point where you have to realize where you're at. And that specifically today, just speaking to OG, if you were there was a point you were at 1 for 9, 1 for 8. Why take the 10 3-pointer then? Bro, just keep taking inside. Do what works. And that's all. I just want us to keep doing what works. And the 3 ball does work for us, but I don't think it should be our go-to.
Great conversation on the 3-point volume, pros, cons, everything in between. I think this is one of the great things about this channel is that we can have some nuanced conversation. We can have some disagreements. We can agree, but it's always going to be smart b-ball talk. And I also love that we bring our personal perspectives, like be the motivator. It's not just a great mom, not just a great ball knowledge, but she's actually coached the AAU. She's played AAU. So she brings that firsthand experience. I think it's very necessary and rare in these YouTube spaces. I'm not a former basketball player. I'm a nerd. I just try to have to read and watch to know everything that I know. But I love that firsthand experience because I don't have it. So it's great to have diversity on the panel as well. Shout out to chat, man. Let's give a chat some love. Yo, I see Kareem Grant giving us some super chats. Appreciate the $2 super chat from Kareem Grant. And then the second one for $5. Yo, this is a great comment here. Notice that we haven't complained about the Knicks' typical third quarter collapse so far. Amen, man, for sure. And again, they lost the third quarter technically by like 2 points, but I thought it was still the foundation was there. Of the offense. Yeah, the effort was clicking. Jalen Wells got hot. It was tough to stop him. Santi Aldama, boy, that dude, he's a very.
I wanted him at one point. By the way, Nick.
Yeah,
I wanted him at one point.
He's got a good
I think they got him on a really low deal too. He's not.
They did value contract. Yeah.
I like Pop.
Me too. You deserve one because the Knicks.
What's up, little mama? Good to see you. All right. Also, I want to give some shout outs to other people in the chat who are keeping things going. I see a lot of BBL jokes going on. Nutty Fresh certified in the chat. Felicia Lee, Knicks Nation TV. Cody, Glamour Knicks, of course, a queen. We always appreciate you, Glamour. Kareem Grant, my main man. JB Deal in the house. Oh, man, my main man, Alex. Much love to you, Alex. Great seeing you in the chat here, man, after a little absence. Nit Yak, OG, always in here arguing with me specifically. That's my op, but I love the guy. Oh, we got Nabil in the house. What's up, Nabil? No stream tonight, but Friday. Any Knicks Friday game is when we drop the stream, and we have Fan Friday to join us in, but we won't be having that tonight. But, of course, if I see you in the chat, man, I'll shout you out, bro. You're awesome, dude. I'm assuming you're probably hosting at Toronto Raptors space tonight as well. I might hop in later.
Yeah.
Shout out to the chat. Much love to everybody in there, keeping things lively on a Tuesday night after another win, staying undefeated at MSG. Jalen Brunson, man, looking to be on an MVP candidacy, as B and I both thought that he would be on. He's looking really good, man. Karl-Anthony Towns looking real good. Mike Brown looking like a Coach of the Year candidate. Let's talk about that too. Mike Brown has been a fresh. I love that he's a breath of fresh air, but he's keeping the principles of crashing the boards, right? Utilizing Mitchell Robinson as the heart of your defense. OG Anunoby being able to unleash that mid-range and attacking the basket when he catches it below the nail. Jalen Brunson, if you need an ISO ball, Tom Thibodeau has established enough tape that Jalen Brunson did an ISO ball on absolutely anybody in the NBA. So it's advancing and evolving Tom Thibodeau's principles, but it's not moving away from the foundation. Ryan talks about this a lot, but the foundation of Tom Thibodeau, Mike Brown is building upon that. And it's great to see these Knicks like destroying the NBA offensively. We need the number one, number two offensive. I think it's us in Houston that are vying for that number one spot. We might be number one after tonight. It's just been incredible watching what Mike Brown has produced with these New York Knicks. What do y'all think? Coach of the Year? I mean, I don't know who else would even be a candidacy for it. Maybe Mitch Johnson in San Antonio or Denver's Adelman. It's tight right now.
Nah, definitely Mike Brown. He's done a good job with the Knicks so far. Of course, we have to see how the season pans out because I think there's other good candidates as well. But yeah, I think there's other good candidates as well. But Mike Brown is definitely putting himself out there. And I mean, Mike Brown is a coach that you typically, when he comes to a team that second year, he gets the ball rolling and gets the team playing well. So it's gonna definitely depend on where the Knicks land, at the end of the season. Are they gonna win the East? Are they gonna be a 2 seed, 3 seed, whatever the case may be? How the teams in the West are gonna perform? Yeah. There's a whole lot of factors go into it. But as of right now, I mean, with what Mike Brown has done with this team, the way he's transformed this offensive system I've been watching the Knicks for years, and I've never seen the Knicks play any type of offense remotely close to what they're playing to today. Like, I've never seen the Knicks play. I've never seen ball movement like this from the Knicks. I've never seen player movement like this from the Knicks. The volume of 3-point shots, I've never seen this from the Knicks. Like, Mike Brown has transformed this Knicks team's offense into a modern day NBA offense. And with the players that the Knicks got, because the Knicks have talent at pretty much every position. Jalen Brunson at the point guard, Bridges and OG on the wings, Cat in the center. Like the Knicks are just stacked, period, with talent. Like all that's really needed is a coach that's going to utilize that talent to its full ability and just get these guys rolling. And that's what Mike Brown's doing. So if he keeps it up, he definitely has a good shot to win Coach of the Year.
What you think, B?
It's at this point, I would honestly that's why we gotta wait till the full season goes through. But I would look at Billy Donovan if he keeps the Bulls in the top.
Oh, great pick. Damn,
3, 4, 5. Because that team, I believe they haven't made the playoffs in some time. So to have them be factors this season, if they continue to stay a factor, I don't see why he wouldn't snatch it or steal it. OKC, of course, if they stay with a crazy record, losing maybe like 10 games or something, you got to give it to him. But I think solely for Mike Brown purposes, if not only we finish top 2, top 3, the transformation like Ryan went through. I believe they said something, I can't remember the exact statistic, but they were saying something that we didn't even have this offense since like 1970 something. It was like a crazy,
That's crazy.
I don't know if anybody was listening, but they said something about the Knicks haven't done this since 1970 something, and I'm like, holy cow. And I believe, shout out to our Knick time chat, somebody was like, I think we found our Steve Kerr. I would always and forever give Tom Thibodeau his flowers. I love Tom Thibodeau.
Same.
He created the foundation, but there was always something that was missing, and I think Mike Brown was what was missing. He's playing to his players and then they're feeding off of him. He came in understanding, I have a Karl-Anthony Towns, I have a Jalen Brunson, and I think a lot of people remember if he could transfer a Sabonis and Fox, which I think we have the upgraded version of those two players. I think Towns is better than Sabonis, and I think that Brunson is better than Fox. So if he can do what he did with those two players in that short time frame, sky's the limit for this, and we're already seeing it in such a short time frame. And I believe we only played like 10. How many games we're in right now? We're seeing it in just this little time frame. I don't see how he doesn't create two all NBA players, 3 or 4 All-Stars. You got to give a guy like that.
3 or 4, I like that.
You got to give a guy like that. We can sneak in there. Mikel
like
OG can sneak
I
in
agree.
there at this point. And if he even gets an all defensive player on there as well, because I think at this point OG and Mikel are playing all defensive numbers. You got to give a Coach of the Year that. You just have to. Not as even as a whole is he elevating everybody, but individually he's elevating a lot of these players. He's even turning the clock back for Jaden Clarkson, even having somebody in the possibility of a 6-man of the year. Because again, I've been a Knicks fan such a long time. It's very rare that I see us win multiple awards, as many as multiple awards or a lot of awards. If we do, we get 1 or 2. So I'd be very shocked if we do sweep a couple. But then again, it wouldn't shock me because of the transformation Mike Brown is making. So yes, I can see Mike Brown taking that. But I do want you guys to also know I'm at the bigger picture. I don't care about anything. I want a ring. So if that man can bring us a ring, get him a statue outside of MSG. Get Coach of the Year. Get that man a statue outside of MSG. But yes, I think at this pace, if we continue to play our game, it is scary because again, we're already scoring 140. I don't think we're fully into the offense. I just think we're starting to get the idea of the offense. I don't even think that we are fully in it. So yes, I don't see how he doesn't take home a Coach of the Year if we end up at the top and a lot of our individual players take home a couple accolades.
Another fireball.
And I also want to throw in something right quick because I think there's somebody we're overlooking right now.
Okay.
Leon the Don, because honestly,
talk about it.
Honestly, because I know some of us are gonna front, but how many of us were not satisfied with hearing that Mike Brown was going to become the new coach of the New York Knicks during the summer? A lot of us were like, "What the hell? Like, what the hell is Leon doing?" Like, but now we're watching the Knicks' 10th game into the regular season, and we're seeing the vision, and we're like, "What the hell?" Like, I did not envision this. You know what I mean? So
that's a great point.
You have to shout out Leon the Don for making that coaching call because that coaching call just transformed the Knicks into a beast. And like we've said, we're not even seeing the finished product yet. We're maybe seeing like 50%, 60%. So can you imagine as the Knicks go on in the season and learn the offensive system more and more and more, and also on the defense side of the ball, this team might be a whole different team by the time it's ready to go to the playoffs.
Woo-hoo-hoo. Talked about it, Ryan. Hell yeah, man. This. I mean, we looked at a championship contender, right out the gate. All right, maybe after 3 games, but right now, bro, it's not even the end of the first quarter of the season. It's just barely started, and we already looked at a top 3 team in the entire NBA, which is insane to say after firing your head coach. Man, I mean, last year I was worried about Boston, was worried about Indiana. I'm not worried about anybody, including anyone in the West. Like this team would say we can score with against anybody and we can defend against anybody. So I'm with you, Ryan. Like once this thing fully evolves to that meta Pokemon, we're gonna be absolutely unbeatable. All right, y'all got anything else to talk about? Or you want to move into Bruh Pits?
I just want really quickly because we didn't go over this that much, but I'm big on again being a coach. I'm big on a point guard being a facilitator. So shout out to Jalen Brunson not only get a 30 ball but having 10 assists again. Jesus Christ.
Great point.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing for me. I kept saying that was another crazy take that I had that me and Lee, I know we said MVP, but I also said I think that Jalen Brunson could average a double-double, which is why he would win the MVP. And at this pace, if he's going to continue to facilitate the ball like that, I think he'll get a career high because I think his career high was last year. It's like 6, almost 7. He could get 8 to 9, almost 10 assists. So just shout out to Jalen Brunson for being a point guard first. We know he can score, bro. We know you can score. It's cool. You're clutch. We got it. But we need you to facilitate, get everybody involved. And shout out to them for finishing finally. There's times where I think also Jalen Brunson did have 10 assist games, but we did not finish or we didn't get to the basket or hit open 3-pointers. So shout out to the guys also for trusting his path and just, letting it fly and finishing strong.
Great point. And 5 rebounds. I mean, it's like, damn, what did he not do?
Blurring with a triple-double guy. I know it's not quite, but like he's 6. That's their biggest. Everybody keeps talking about that. His biggest thing. He's 6 foot. He's 6. It's all right. He doesn't play like he's 6 foot. So shout out to Shea. Because if he was Shea, if he was Shea's height, he would be Shea.
And his defense this season has been career best. He's been playing phenomenal. And I watch him too. He is so smart with the double. He doesn't necessarily play the passing lanes like Dante DiVincenzo, but he forces bad passes by his presence in the way that he's angled. The passes they're looking to make, especially with corners, his mind is always thinking, how can I disrupt this and force a pass that eventually my teammate can cause into a turnover? Man, Jalen Brunson, shout out to a well-rounded game. Definitely evolving.
Definitely. I want to throw another stat out there right quick. In the last 4 games, Jalen Brunson's had 36 assists. That is 9 assists per game. If Jalen Brunson, because right now I think he's averaging 6.6 on the season. If Jalen Brunson can finish the season at that 7-8 assist mark, oh my God, it's going to be problems for the NBA if Jalen Brunson is dropping 26, 27 a game and getting 8, 9 assists on top of that. Yeah, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap. Speaking of rap, let's roast some bums. Ryan, what you got for the Bruh Pit tonight, bro? We had a wild day in the NBA last night, so there might be some.
Oh my God!
Yes.
Oh, you better put that in there because I'm
gonna say mine for last.
Y'all probably got like more bruh picks than I do because I only got to see a few games last night. But the bruh picks I do have, my first bruh pick, I have to give it to Vucevic, and it's not even his fault for real because it's like you're guarding Wemby. Wemby he's an alien. He's a different being. This man's not even from Earth. I don't know where Wemby came from, but he's different. So can you imagine being the big at the end of a game situation and another big who's like 7'4", and he's near the half court line and he's calling off players being like, yeah, I'm gonna run ISO. A 7'4" player on the perimeter, and he sizes you up, crosses you over where you had a mini stanky leg. He couldn't even get back to recover, and he knocks a 3 right between the eyes. Like, bruh. I know it's not his fault. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do with a 7'4" guy can dribble the ball like a freaking guard and knock the 3. Like, come on, like there's literally nothing you can do. But it's just like, damn. So like, on literally like the last play of the game, this dude a 7'4" guy crossed you over, made you do the mini stanky leg and knocked the 3 right between the eyes. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy.
I was gonna say you gotta. We have, but I can't say we did. Again, I can confirm Wemby is not an alien. He is human. There's a couple games where I realized he's not an alien. He is human. just like a different kind of human, but he's not an alien.
You got any more, Ryan? Is that it?
I feel like I have another bro pick, but I can't recall at the moment, so y'all can go. If it comes back to me, I'll say it later on.
Was that I didn't catch that win shot. Was that a game winner?
Yeah, against the Bulls.
There was like 4 game winners last night.
Because I want to bro pick one of the game winners last year, and last night, I believe it was Cleveland versus, who did Cleveland play last night? Miami.
Yeah. Wiggins.
Wide open. Like, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
what a
he
play.
just cut right to the basket, threw it up, and boom, there was the game. I thought that was crazy. I thought that was poor execution on the Cavs' part. Just poor overall. That was the most easiest game whatever I've seen in my life. A great play, by the way, on Miami's end. Shout out Eric Spoelstra, a great coach. But
yep.
Poor defense on, like, they literally just let him like come down the lane and slam for the win. I thought that was like, I literally legit went, bruh, like you gonna let him do that? But that was my bruh pick of the day. And real quick to stay on topic 2 of the game. You know who you are. You were arguing with me the one day in my thing, talking about John Morant is better than Jalen Brunson. Here's another game for you to understand that. No, he's not. Please stop saying that, guys. You guys are killing me with that. Like, bruh, y'all are killing me with that. John Morant is not the only people that can argue with Jalen Brunson at this time. If your name is not Shea, Luka, or Steph, please just there's levels to this. And Jalen Brunson is on that level with those guys. He might be a little under them, but he's on that level with those guys. And then you get the Cades, and you get the Jaws, and you get all those guys. John Morant is not better than Jalen Brunson. So yeah, continue. And I'm glad we were able to prove that to you today.
You know, I've got some flat for saying Kate Cunningham is better than Jalen Brunson, but John Morant better than Jalen Brunson is crazy. There's no one that's ever been through. Come on.
I'm going to get on you. I'm going to wait till we play Detroit, Lee. I'm going to wait till we play Detroit. I'm going to get on you.
That's going to be a great game.
Yeah. And now it came back to me. I do have a couple more bro picks, actually. So this is a count on, it looks like Reddit. It's not even the official NBA account. It's like a parody account or whatever the case may be. And they always come up with some wild, like, titles to like highlight videos. And if you didn't know, the other night the Sixers played the Raptors, and there was a play where Edgecombe took Grady off the dribble and finished at the rim, but what they wrote was crazy. It's a major AO, major pause, everything. So what they wrote was VJ Edgecombe beats Grady. But they didn't say Grady. They said, you already know his last name. So VJ Edgecombe beats D off the dribble and finishes hard with 2 hands. I'm just like, hey, yo, like, why would you, like, what kind of title is that to a highlight video? Like, yo, what's going on? Like, what is going on? It reminds me of that Gooden dude. That's probably what he does in his own room. Like, yo, that's what he probably does in his own room every day. Like,
damn. Yo, Ryan went Super Saiyan on that one, bro. Oh man, diabolical.
His last name has been like the butt of
because I think you'd be the right one to attack that other bro pick. That's going on in Dallas. So I'm gonna let you attack that.
Oh, Nico Harrison, the time has come, man. I feel very vindicated. As soon as he botched that Jalen Brunson free agency, I was like, there's something wrong with this guy. Because you got Mark Cuban. How does Mark Cuban not tell him, don't botch another all-star potential point guard like we did with Steve Nash 20 years before? You do it again with the one guy who had homegrown, a steal in the second round, a guy that proved, unlike Dennis Smith Jr., he can play next to Luka Doncic and win you a playoff series when Doncic is gone and you lose him for nothing in free agency. Evan, you made ass-crack trade after ass-crack trade, having to attach a pit to KP to move off him, and then KP goes to the Wizards, and then Boston wins a chip? Come on, man. Like, he had a couple of decent drafts. Derek Lively, very nice. Picking up Najee Marshall, very nice. But for every Najee Marshall, he had to trade Quentin Grimes for Caleb Martin. But the ass-crack move of all is trading a generational superstar in Luka Doncic for a guy who is everything you're saying Luka Doncic is: fat, lazy, out of shape, injury prone, and like 5 or 6 years older. Bruh, Listen, man, the Mav fans here, all my buddies have been absolutely livid with Nico. They don't just want him fired. They want him jumped. They want him caught in the streets with real OGs taking him to business. He is not only banned from Dallas, he's banned from the entire state of Texas. Finally, lots of my friends are rejoicing tonight that Patrick Dumont, who is also equally to blame, in my opinion, for the Luka Doncic traders, he signed off on it. He finally fired Nico Harrison and ejected him from his cut chair in American Airlines Center, where he had to have a ladder to go down to avoid all the fans when they're booing him. Last night was icing on the cake. You're down by, 1 or 2 to Milwaukee at home, and the fans are booing so loud, PJ Washington misses a free throw to win the game. Like, unbelievable things are happening. And the whole time they show Nico Harrison there being rained down on by boos and fire Nico. Like, listen, man, you earned it. I don't care what kind of person you are. He's not a wife. He's out here. This is a job he signed up for. And he made that trade based on petty, egotistical reasons. He can't have a conversation with a superstar and tell him, this is what I need you to do. Instead, there's backdoor deals and backstabbings and disgusting, low maintenance, bad leadership from the front office. You made your bed, bro. Now lay in it in another city, in another state, far away from AAC. Nico Harrison, not only the bruh pick of tonight, the bruh pick of the entire NBA in the entire season. I'm glad he's gone from Dallas. I'm going to have to find a new punching bag to rip apart in my media pieces. Maybe it's going to be Mark Cuban, who I wrote an article about today. But who knows, man? Yeah, my bruh pick, absolutely Nico Harrison.
Because I believe they're trying to trade AD now, right?
To me, that's
is that just rumors, or is it like?
I'm hearing Klay Thompson's first, and then probably Najee and Caleb Martin, and then AD by the deadline. But they want him to come back and rehab his stock right now. His trade value is super low.
I typically believe they're scapegoats. But like I'm glad you gave a little bit of history behind it. He didn't botch just one or two. There was several times that he continuously shows that it's me, I'm the problem. So yeah, I'm glad he's out of there too for you Dallas fans. And I'm not that mad because thank you for giving us Jalen Brunson real quick. I appreciate that, Nick.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, he lost Jalen Brunson for nothing. He lost Derrick Jones Jr. for nothing. He lost Quentin Grimes for nothing. And then he lost Luka Doncic for a bag of chips. So the worst part is to slander his name on the way out and say he's fat, he's lazy, he's always injured. And then the guy you traded for is all of those things. Again, no side, AD's top 50 all time, Hall of Famer, champion. But, bro, come on, man. He looks out of shape. He looks horrible this season. He is Yabusele BBL thick. And that's his fault for coming to the season that way. And they've looked horrible with him on the court.
Do you guys got good food out there in Dallas? Like,
we're a top 5. Look at me. We're a top 5 food scene. Are you kidding me? I did this BBL eating McDonald's. This is like 5-star fine dining. Listen, man, I'm a food trade for a reason. Those free meals be hitting. Let me tell you.
And then to make
AD, I'm like, there's AD eating sushi again. Come on, man. Come on, bro.
And then to make matters worse, the superstar that he traded to LA this season, he's in shape and he's putting up generational numbers
40 a game.
to make it even worse.
It's crazy. And not only that, this is the last year they have draft pick control over their draft pick until like 2031. They either owe someone or that someone has the rights to their swaps for the Gafford trade, the PJ Washington trade, the KP trade. It's a mess. Like they have to tank to get something because after that, they don't even control their own assets. Horrible mismanagement. Nico Harrison, man. I mean, whatever his LinkedIn bio is, I'm sure it says I'm open for work because right now that man's gonna be out of a job for a while and well deserved.
Yeah,
you see, Knick fans, it can always be worse.
It could. Exactly.
Yeah, matter of fact, right now on his IG it says unemployed. To be real about it,
he is self-aware. Okay, I that. Yo, 5 Guys BBL. That's a crazy comment. My BBL is not from 5 Guys. It's from better restaurants than that. All right, what else we got? All right, cool. We got any more bro pits, or can we wrap it up?
No, we can wrap it up. I ain't got no more bro picks.
All right, B, tell them where to find you.
If you can't find me here on the KOT, I'm with Knick's World. If not, I'm on Twitter talking my BS. It's Sporty Spice. That's SPORTY SPICCE. Thank you guys. Appreciate you.
Always love having you. And Fritz, I see you in the chat, bro. Great having you.
Shout out to my daughter too, my sidekick today.
Shout out Baby B as well. Ryan,
yes,
tell them where to find you, brother.
You can find me on Twitter at RyanGKOT. You can also find me on Instagram at Sir G is Chillin'.
Sir G is chilling.
That's SIR. G is CHILLIN. And I'm relieved to say that Yabusele is not the only BBL in the NBA right now. Thank God.
Shout out Nick Yat for some positivity, man. I'm glad you didn't roast me tonight, bro. It's listen, this is a hard job. Much props to Jay Ellis for hosting this. My brain's like all over the place right now, so I'm glad that the show has gone well thanks to my two lovely co-hosts. You can find me on Twitter at _Lee Escobedo, LeeEscobedo. Also follow KOT at the KOT Show on Instagram, on TikTok, on Twitter, on all the things. Make sure you like and subscribe. We're trying to hit over 10,000 subscribers as soon as we can, and that's going to happen mainly by you guys sharing, telling a friend to tell a friend, subscribing, sharing the link on Twitter or TikTok, wherever you're at. We much appreciate all the love and support that we've gotten from the fans. And thank you to Dexter Henry for having me on New York Game yesterday to be able to represent the KOT crew. We're getting some great lights and great interactions with that video. We're doing numbers, y'all, blowing away everybody else that's been a guest on there. So I appreciate it. I know as a KOT fam, spreading the word, and we love you for it, man. Much love to Jay Ellis. Happy birthday to you today. This is your project. I hope we did you well, and I hope you're enjoying yourself. It's a much-deserved vacation. We love you very much, and we will see you next time. As always, hold on.
We're back tomorrow, man. We got Orlando.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We are back tomorrow. We got Orlando.
Yep, Orlando, yep.
I think Ryan's
And
probably
I'm
going to host
looking forward to that one, so I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow.
As always.
Shout out the worldwide West. Everywhere we go, we leave a worldwide mess.
It's a mess out here in these new YouTube streets. That's a show. Good night, KOT family. We love you. We're out.
Peace. Happy birthday, Jay.
New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.
NYC.